This is part 13, and I think I'm going to try to end it right here. I don't know if I'll be able to. But this is Unbecoming the First Lady, a title I never ever asked for. Um so, at this point, I feel like I'm dancing with the devil, baby. And we twirling and we twirling and twirling and twirling. And he's a Capricorn. And um he checks off of the box of things I do not want. That's the first thing. He checks the box of everything that I do not want. The things that if it was on paper, I would say no. He's an online pastor. He's a pastor's kid. He's married but separated. And he is pure evil. During the day, Prince Charming. Okay, Prince fucking Charming. When the sun go down, it's like the vampire comes out. The vampire, some kind of dark entity, anything evil you could think of was what would come out of him when the sun went down. And I knew it was a test to see how much I could endure, but it got to be too much. I remember my grandma told me she didn't like him. He had helped me get back on track with my daughter. And the relationship with him and the youngest was beautiful. And, he was saying and doing most of the right things. Fast forward to about August. No, we were in September. But in August, I went to church, and I hadn't been in a while. And my mom had kept asking me to come to church. And I go to the church where the pastor has been like a spiritual father to me. And he has been a counselor, my financial advisor. He has been a lot since my father passed away. This pastor did my father and my brother's eulogy. He was there when I had my first kid. He came up to the hospital. He did the christening for the second kid, so we have a relationship where I was like, okay, so why this pastor not acting like this pastor? And I'll never forget, he preached about the lost sheep. But not only did he preach about the lost sheep, but he preached about the lost sheep tied into the prodigal son, the one gold coin that the lady on the floor was looking for. She had the other 9, but she had to find, the one on the floor. And how the shepherd went out searching for that one lost sheep, and how the prodigal son had returned home. So I'm listening to this, and in my mind, because every time I decide to go to church, it's like I go for a reason, because that word is going to be for me. And so while he's preaching about the one lost sheep, I was like, yeah, I was lost. I've always considered myself as a sacrificial lamb. A lot of y'all call yourself the black sheep. It's all the same, the black sheep, the chosen one. I call myself the sacrificial lamb, because if it's somebody in the family that had to be sacrificed, it was me. So and I'm getting it. And the way it was, you've gotten so far away from God. You out there too far. You've gotten lost. And you know, the prodigal son part was, you know, I'm dancing with the devil, thinking that, and every time I say dancing with the devil, I always go back to Vampire in Brooklyn, where Angela Bassett and Eddie Murphy was dancing, and the room was spinning, it was turning around, and he was trying to turn her into a vampire. I always go back to that when I say dancing with the devil. That is the image that pops into my mind. But he said, you have gotten too far away from God. You've lost, but the shepherd is coming to find that one lost one. Like, them other 99 are okay, but he has to go for that one. And when he got to the prodigal son part, I said, I need to go up here. I need, you know, some prayer. I need to come back home. And when I said come back home, it wasn't come back home to the church. It was come back home to myself. What I knew to be true about myself, because these last couple of months I've been doing so much hell, where he's tried to make me hate myself. He's tried to make me into somebody that I wasn't. He's tried to convince me to take my own life. It's mental abuse, it's emotional abuse, it's financial abuse, and it's a little bit of physical abuse too. So, you know, I get up there and I say, I just want to be prayed for. I'm not joining the church. I just need some prayer. And as he was praying for me, my mom came up behind me and held me, because I was shaking a little bit. And when I said I needed to come home, and I needed to come back to myself, I needed to come back to who God called me to be, because I lost myself in this relationship with this man that I never should have been with in the first place, because I never wanted what he was offering. But he had convinced me that he was what I needed at that point. He convinced me he was who I needed, and that God had sent him. I'm that list. I said I had a list of everything I wanted. I couldn't find the list. I was looking all over for the list, because I was like, he's not checking any of these boxes. He didn't check not one single box. Where's my list? He told me, he said, when God sends you who you're supposed to have, the list just disappears. And I was like, God wouldn't do that to me. God would not do that to me. But I had to go through all of this. And it's been 2 years. Almost 2 years. And there'll be a thing where I can feel him pulling and tugging at my energy. He's dreaming of me. He's pulling me back. And it ends up to where I'll reach out. And it's the same old thing. It's the same old thing. He asked me, did you ever get your car fixed? You still got your car? Did you lose your car? You still got your house? You didn't lose your house? And so as I was listening to that book last week, one of the main things said that no man is going to try to break you if he really cares about you. No man is going to watch you go through hard times. Matter of fact, use those hard times to see how much he cares and how he feels about you. Tell him, make up something to see how much he really cares about you. And this man has shown me in many different ways, had told me flat out, had done everything but say that he wanted to be with me. He wanted the idea of who I was. And he used that the whole time. I allow my gratitude to shape my life's journey. I allow my gratitude to shape my life's journey. I allow my gratitude to shape my life's journey. The whole time, he's trying to tear me down mentally so that he can make me into who he wants me to be. Be it his ex, his next, the side chick, whoever in his mind he wanted me to be is how he tried to flip me, how he tried to turn me. And the manipulation was getting stronger. It was getting heavier. The more I was trying to get away, the stronger he pulled. The more he did things that made it harder and harder for me to get away from him.